So we spoke about the modern hip escape, which again, by this day and age, it should just be hip escape. Now we're going to talk about, we just talked about moving one time, right? So that previous part was me going toes, getting just the motion of getting the hip out, framing, staying here, and then being able to get ready to attack again. Now, we're going to look at side to side, which is going to be a little bit more different. So I'm going to do it here, and I'm going to get in front of my uke real quick. So we're going to go. They're going to add one more part to it. We're here. This is reinforcing my knee. And you can do this without reinforcing your knee, but a lot of the times, people have tendencies to do this. So it's very important that when you put the elbow in front of the knee, it forces you to make sure that the knee won't go below your shoulder line and that it stays nice and tight, which is why I like it a lot. Okay, some people even like to grab their foot and go like this. I'm not that deep into it, but we go here. Okay, now, toes on the mat like we spoke about. We'll raise, hip escape out, scoot back in. Now, we're going to square up. When we square up, we're going to have tension. Okay, which means our knees aren't going to drop. The tension stays here. I'm framing my hands in the middle. I turn to the other side, and then I hip escape out. Okay, pull back in, through, other side. Out, in, other side. Out, in, other side. Now, when we're doing this, it's important, and it looks super simple. I go one side, keep my knees between my hands between my knees, and then I go to the other side. What's happening here is I'm never losing tension, and I spoke about this previously. We're never losing tension when we're doing that. To lose tension means we'll drop everything. So you're doing a modern one to keep tension, to make space, whether I'm scooting forward, coming back, okay? When I turn, I have to make sure this stays tension. If this relaxes and I just turn to one side and I go like this, it's not correct. The knee comes off center, the tension's gone in between the core, and you're more susceptible to getting past as you do this. It's better for you always to practice, okay, I have my elbow reinforced, I have my foot to the mat, engaged with the flexed instep, ready to use my toes. I put in the weight on my shoulder a little bit. I scoot my hip out just a little bit, not a big throw. And then I come forward. I'm blocking. Knee stays up to block these spaces in between my hip. And then I turn to the other side. Out, forward, blocking, other side. Out, forward, elbows inside, framing, other side. Very tensioned up, and correct is this. Elbow reinforcing, toes to my butt, on my shoulder a little bit. Can use the frames whenever I need to. So if I need to frame for a sec, that's fine. And then when I need to move, I can scoot forward, I can scoot backwards. When I want to turn to the other side, there is a moment where when you turn, you don't want this separation of space in your hip pocket. So you have to make sure that you're framing and then that knee comes up before you turn, especially if it's on this side. So in this case, it is my right foot, right? My right leg. So I go forward, I scoot back. Now the person who's went to the side, I see him starting to move. I need to move with him. So now I know that when I turn, I don't want this to go like this. I don't want the extension of my leg. I want to turn and keep it tight, fall to my other side. Boom, keep it tight, fall to my other side. One, other side. One, other side. So what it looks like when Andres is on this side, he starts trying to pass to this side, right? He's here, I'm framing, I'm out. He starts trying to go to the other side, in the middle, framing, out. He starts trying to go to the other side, out. So we're always able to dictate and see where he's going, but then also being able to move with tension, which doesn't leave him open to passing that much, right? The only thing Andres could possibly do would be when I go to one side, he's here, and I go for a hip escape, and he squares up, and he goes for a double under. That's the only move that leaves this open. And then this is just pretty much me blocking tension, bringing the feet in, and then we're right back to where we were. As long as you're aware that double under is probably the only susceptible part, you'll be okay. Okay, so doing this hip escape has to be with complete contraction, keeping your frames stable, and then also keeping them stable while you're moving. Which means, again, this goes back to keeping your core contracted, keeping your tension engaged. If you get sloppy as you do this side to side, you're going to get passed. It doesn't matter if it's standard or it's modern. But if you do it correct, it's going to save your life a lot more than a standard one or any other type of hip escape.